Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the True Crime Cafe. And guess who I am? Anybody? Anybody? It's me, the Dago. Haha, as if you didn't know that. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's so good to see you all back again. Great to have you here tonight. Everyone, we are looking into the true story. I'm sorry. The true story behind the movie No Man of God, based on Ted Bundy and a gentleman by the name of Bill Hagmire. I may have pronounced it wrong, but he was an FBI agent that worked on the case with Bundy and worked along with Bundy to, well, you'll find out. So, thank you for joining us. It's a very interesting story and it's a great movie. So let's see who is interested in this and wanted to join us for tonight. So let's see. Daisy Dead's in the house. Good to see you, Daisy. Welcome back. Miss Gina Sotilli, it's so great to see you, my dear. Been a while. It's great to have you here. I hope you're doing better, hon. We do miss you. Mrs. M, always happy to see you, darling. Thank you for jumping back in tonight. Miss Kelly, welcome. Good to see you. Rumsey, welcome back. Good to see you. Cammy Q's in the house, folks. It's awesome seeing you. Party of Five, welcome back. My brother Jeff H. Mr. Guitar himself, welcome back, brother. Good to have you. Let's see. Welcome back, Van Life. Good to see you, dear. I hope you're doing good tonight. Thanks for joining us. Dory's in the house. Good to see you. Of course, the lovely Mama Bear. She's here now. We can start the party. Absolutely. Good to see you, Mama Bear. The OG, Miss Brandy B. What's up, sis? Good to have you. Rhea Baldic, welcome back. Good to have you. I think that's it so far. I'm not expecting too many people tonight. Miss Sherry's in the house. Wisdom Speaks. Great to see you. Pamela, welcome back. Good to have you here. And then, of course, my brother from another mother, Mr. On the Mic. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you, sir. Thank you, Miss Brady. For those of you that aren't familiar, most of you are, as I ramble on about the same things over and over again, this channel is 100% crowdfunded, folks. Anybody willing and wanting to donate to support the channel via Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, there are links for that. That is what keeps me coming to you guys on a daily basis and sometimes twice a daily basis. So it is so very much appreciated, guys. Otherwise, you may not see me ever again. Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Welcome back, Brian. Good to see you, Brian Hoffman. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you here. So I guess we're going to do a little story time tonight, guys. This is what I do on Mondays and Thursday nights. We have all the exciting stuff early on in the day, and everybody jumps in for that. This thing is a little bit of a kind of a kickback, relax, grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be, or a bag of popcorn, a couple beers, whatever you guys want to do, and just listen to the story that I like to tell about movies that have been made out of true stories that are related to true crime, guys. So here we are once again, and I see many of people that are interested in hearing this story. And then after we tell the story, for those of you that are newer to this, we do go through a couple, run a poll on them, see which one wins, and then we move that one on as homework for the next story for the next day that I do this. So if anybody, and we have done quite a few of them already. So if anybody is interested in anything, you want to hear the true story behind them, very good at getting these stories, folks. Even if it's one I've never seen or heard of, please let me know. I will get it right, and I will find the story. So like I said, if you've worked a long day, or if you've been doing true crime all day, doing this and doing that, and dealing with the Idaho 4 case and all that stuff, guys, it's kind of a nice little different change. You know what I mean? To just sit back and listen to a story about something that is definitely interesting. So thank you guys for joining me. 100%. Absolutely. Appreciate all of you guys. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to send out some personal invites to people that don't ever get them. Welcome back, Jen. Good to see you. Awesome. Awesome. We got 29 beautiful people in here, guys. Do me a favor. If you would, please, if you could, please leave me some DNA on that like button. Share this out to anybody you think would be interested. And don't forget, folks, to leave me some comments after the show so I know what you think. Good or bad, you're not going to hurt my feelings, guys. I appreciate everything you guys have to say. So please leave me a comment. I'm so sorry, Miss Gina. I hope you're doing okay. You've been in my thoughts and condolences every single day, darling. You have had the worst possible past year and a half that I can imagine. And I am so sorry for everything that you've gone through, folks. If you would please, you don't have to, but if you could just take a moment to say just a little prayer for Miss Gina Sotilli. She's had a lot of family issues and things going on, and it's been really rough. So just out of the kindness of your hearts, if you would please, just keep her in your thoughts and prayers if you should. And I do appreciate that, guys, more than anything in the world. She's a beautiful person with a beautiful family. She supported me for a long time. And I would really appreciate that. I really would. As we would do for any of you guys in here. That's just who we are. Because this is an amazing community full of amazing people, amazing meatballs. You guys are all so awesome, and I do appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so very much, Jen. Unique, thank you so much for that. Miss Brandy, no worries, hon. I understand. Matthew's got the big doctor appointment tomorrow. I got you. No worries. Family comes first. Every aspect, folks. That's how this stuff works in here. Come on in, guys. Grab your coffee, tea. Like I said, whatever it may be, come on, sit down and have a conversation with me. Because y'all know I do love to talk, for sure. My camera is doing its own thing. See it going in and out, in and out. Stop doing it. It's got its own mind, I swear. Welcome, Miss Bonnie Bailey. Mr. Antonucci, welcome back, my friend. It's great to see you. See L's in the house. Oh, wow. I do got some people coming in here. So it's great to see that, guys, that you guys are interested in hearing about this. No Idaho tonight, guys. This is just about the true story behind the movie No Man of God, which, of course, is based on Mr. Ted Bundy. As we all know, is a very interesting person in our past. Tsunami's in the house. I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, bro. Good to have you here. Those of you that were here this afternoon when Rory was here, I want to say that you guys are amazing people, guys. You guys were very respectful, polite, and I do appreciate that so very much. Even those of you that may not have agreed with the things that he had to say. That's the way this thing works, guys. You guys are awesome for that, and I do appreciate that. And I told him, this community here is full of some amazing people, okay? And they will not treat you like a lot of these other places do, and they won't. People can have their opinions and their thoughts and their theories, and at the end of the day, guys, we can still shake hands and walk away the other way. So you guys, thank you for that. I appreciate and respect each and every one of you guys for that as well. And for those of you that were here, I hope you guys, enjoyed the stream and got something or anything out of it at that point. I really do. I thought it went quite well. I enjoyed listening to Rory. I don't know why I can't do that. Rory. There we go. Listening to what he had to say, and I appreciated, the answers he had to the questions you all had for him. It was pretty awesome, guys. So thank you for that. 100,000%. And let me see here. Let me fix something over here too. Sorry, folks. Strike first, strike hard. What's up, little brother? Welcome back. Good to see you. It's been a little while. Hope you've been well, and I hope you're having a great day today. It's good to see you, son. Always good to see you, my friend. Yes, we're always happy to see Mama Bear. Absolutely, Van. You know that you are always welcome. And yes, I do definitely try to provide a safe and comfortable space for everybody to come and relax and just be able to be who they are. Mandy Joe, what's up, Mandy Joe? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Probably, Miss Mandy. I'll say that much. Very, very much so. Oh, I love her to death. I do. I do. She says what she feels, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I respect that 1000%, guys. No worries, Strike. It's good to see you. Don't Dives in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. The Raging Cajun. I love when she's in here. I love that accent. I really do. It is awesome to have you guys in here again. 42 beautiful people in here, guys. 25 likes. Likes. Let's try to make that match, folks. Yes, you do, Mandy Joe. I respect that 1000%. You really do. You guys are also very well respectful when you guys are in here. And I have to tell you guys, I'm proud to be leading this community in that sense. You know what I mean? I really am. With everybody that's in here, it's amazing to me. You guys are, and I still can't get over it. I say this all the time. Welcome, Mikey. Yes, it's good to see you. You guys are, it's great to have so many people that just come in here together. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe. You know, it gives me faith in humanity, folks, because there's still so many good people out there that still have so much care for people and for the world itself. So thank you all for being here when you are here. And thank you all for being who you are, guys. I absolutely, positively mean that wholeheartedly, for sure. Um, and T2014, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you. All right, all right, all right. Again, guys, I do. Yes, Mandy Joe. I want to say once again, um, for those of you that didn't see this earlier, today is Kaylee Goncalves's 22nd birthday. It's her first birthday away from her family, which is very hard. And I've been doing it on and off throughout the day, just saying happy heavenly birthday, Kaylee. We love you, and we're all here for you, you know, and we're fighting for you, kid. So, um, sorry, guys. Um, thank you all that have said that throughout the day and who have expressed your feelings about that situation and have had the heart to want to say things like that. You know what I mean? It means a lot to me, as I'm sure it does to the family. As I've told you guys, I feel that these kids are America's kids now. Okay, that they belong to all of us in some sense because we're all here fighting to get the justice that's deserved for them and their families. And I hold that very dear to my heart. So again, thank you all of you that have put that out there today. Uh, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Mr. Dan Antonucci says, I have to jump for work stuff shortly, but wanted to thank you all for being so welcoming and say a big happy birthday to Kaylee, who has her spirit kept alive by you all every day. Amen, brother. Amen to that. Thank you for that. Don't Die 509. Happy birthday, Kaylee Jade. We do miss you, sweetheart. We do. That we didn't even know you, and I feel like we all do. You know what I mean? Um, we never met these kids, but I feel like each one of us knows them as if they're our own children. You know what I mean? Welcome, sweet and salty. It's great to see you. So very happy to see you all here tonight. Let me see here. That's right, Mikey. Thank you, brother. Happy birthday, Kaylee. Mandy Joe, again, happy birthday, Kaylee. Mrs. M is absolutely a wonderful, isn't she, Mandy? She's a very dear person to me. Funny story, guys. Give you real quick while we're waiting on some people. Thank you so much, Miss Sherry. Absolutely. I do. I think Steve is an amazing person. I love the whole family. Kaylee Jade Day, just like we had Maddie May Day. We love it. So Mrs. M is probably one of the sweetest people in here, guys. She's a very heartfelt, um, loving person. Okay, and she's been just an amazing subscriber, friend, and support to my channel since I've done this. Okay, just to let you know, when I first started this channel off, my channel, she was on the opposite end of the spectrum with me. Not because she thought she was. She didn't realize, we didn't realize what scenario was going down, but we didn't get along. We'll just put it that way. And I think it's amazing to me, and that's a testament to me as to what the power of people can do. Just period, guys. In general, we were completely on the opposite ends of the spectrum, folks, with each other, and now, I think Mrs. M is probably one of the most wonderful people that I know, and I consider her a very dear friend. So that's proof to me that anything is possible, folks, is all I'm saying. And again, thank you, Mrs. M, for being who you are. We do love you so very much. Welcome, Miss Pearl. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Even though they are not our children, they are brothers and sisters. That's amen to that one, sweetheart. Thank you for that. No lie. Sophie, what's up? Absolutely, Dan. Yes, Mrs. M. Thank you for being who you are. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm an emotional person, folks. I am. I wear my heart on both my sleeves. Um, after seeing what Christy had put out last night that she wanted for Kaylee, thinking about the scenario, what they're going through this year without her, it hits me in the heart, folks. And like I said, you guys know how passionate I am about this and why I want the absolute truth in this case. I'm very passionate about what I do. If you haven't figured that out yet, I am, folks. Anybody in here that knows me can tell you. Um, that's what I've been told, Dan. I'll be honest with you. I've been told that. I know what Mikey says. I know what's going on. You put your all into the well, Mikey knows me. He knows we talk. We're friends. It's a fact. It's a fact. I do. It's bedtime here in Italy. Just dropping in to send some love, and we do love you, Miss Cindy, even all the way over in Rome, Italy. I apologize. I've been up since 4 hunting. I'm all out in calling BS out. All right. Well, you don't have to worry about it in here, sweetie. Sweetie. Yes, sorry about that. Sweet and salty. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, you do what you need to do, my dear. That's all I can say. You gave out free coffee and money as an act of kindness. That is so beautiful. I love it. Welcome, Eve. Good to see you. Natalie B's in the house. Wow, you guys are all jumping in here for this tonight. Well, I hope you guys are satisfied with it. I do try to give these evening shows that I do to tell these stories the best I can, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. It's just a little something I do different, and it kind of breaks the monotony of what we do during the day on a regular basis, guys. So thank you, Miss Brandy, so very much. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Kaylee, you beautiful soul. 1,000,000%. Awesome. Thank you, Sweet and Salty, so very much. There's the first super chat of the night, and she says, love you, meatballs, and we love you back, my dear. We do. Get get this set up here. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable. Welcome, Jen R. Good to see you. Moderators, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. As always, you guys are amazing. As you all know, it's so great to have you all here. Not that you really have to do anything, but you're still my family, and it's great to have you here. All right. Again, thank you, Sweet and Salty. I appreciate you. Buenas muy tardes, Dago, eating beef stroganoff. Hey, that's one of my faves, folks. I love it. I love it. All right. I don't think I missed anybody. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie. It's called No Man of God. It has Elijah Wood, and I can't think of the actor that plays Ted Bundy in it. And again, it's based on a true story. It is about the, of course, Ted Bundy. We all know who he is. And the FBI agent that got super close to him during the investigative part of the story, so on and so forth. So it's actually an amazing movie, folks. You got to check it out. If you haven't, it's great. So we're going to be telling the story about that tonight. And again, I always slaughter his name. It's based on Mr. Bill Hagmire. I think it's Hagmire to pronounce it right, but that's his last name. Who was with the FBI then? And if you haven't seen the movie, please go see it. If you're ever bored and you want to watch a movie, it's great. It is great. Hi Pisces campaign. I'm like, what is the story? The story tonight is the true story behind the movie No Man of God. If you haven't seen it, you'll know the true story. Go watch the movie. It's worth seeing. Again, Elijah Wood, Bilbo Baggins, Frodo, I think he played in the Hobbit.
What movie is it?
Elijah Wood, the kid that he played the Hobbit or something, I think, or in the Hobbit.
Oh.
Frodo, right?
Yeah, it's Frodo.
Yeah, he played Frodo. That's what I thought.
What's the movie called though?
It's No Man of God. You've not.
Oh, about Ted Bundy.
Yeah, you haven't seen it though. There's Star. Good to see you, Star. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's great to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I didn't read the title. Lack of Sleep, Hunters No. Oh, you thought you was coming in here for some more Idaho 4 stuff. I'm sorry. But hey, like I say, we do this stuff 5 days, 6 days, 7, 8 days a week, folks. This is nice twice a week to be able to kick back and just take a breather from the stuff we do every day. And let me tell you a story about something that's quite interesting in my opinion. That's all it is. It's an hour or two of not dealing with Idaho is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Good to see you, Miss Carolyn. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for being here for sure. So yes, Carolyn, everything's fine. Everything's going fine. Thank you for asking. All right. And look at this, guys. I'm scanning through here. I don't see anything but green. It's crazy. We have so many new members. I am so super excited about that. Welcome, all of you meatballs, to the sauce. For any of you guys that are interested in joining the Discord, because you have that ability now that you are a member of the True Crime Cafe. That is one of the perks to it, is you get to become a part of the Discord that we have, where we are in there all day long, just talking and joking and just having a good old time. And you get a little earlier updates on what we're doing when we're doing it. Good Lord, thank you so much. Don't Dive. We got a super sticker, guys. $20. Thank you so very much for that. I do appreciate that. We are Low Love. Good to see you. We are going to talk a bit of Ted Bundy. Yes, we are. great to have you here. And again, thank you so much, Don't Dive. I appreciate that more than you know. And again, even without that, I appreciate the fact that you're here. So thank you so very much. Okay. Let me give you guys something here. For those of you that were not familiar, one second. Yes, we do so very much, Don't Dive. Appreciate you. All right, let me see here. Green Eyes, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in tonight. Appreciate you. Yes, happy birthday, Miss Kaylee. Praying for the family. God be with them today and every day. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Green Eyes. It's great to see you. Okay. 1 second here. I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you guys a trailer again of the movie itself. And again, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I just thought it was an amazing movie. That way, you guys will at least know what I'm telling you the story about. So, Miss Brady says, Dago, I got an idea to run past you and Mama Bear when you two have the time. Absolutely, my dear. No worries. Thank you, Miss Brandy. All right. All right, guys. Let me know how this sounds. I'm just going to give you guys the trailer to the movie, and then I will get into telling you the story behind the movie. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You think you're smarter than him.
And there it is. Oh, good Lord. You never heard of this, Green Eyes. This movie, I'm telling you, folks, I've been watching this stuff for years. Just to give you guys a quick little background on me that don't know me, okay? I started doing this because I've always, and I'm talking always, guys, I'm 48 years old, and I have always been infatuated with crime, true crime, mystery. At one point, I wanted to be a detective, okay? Um, it's just always been a passion of mine. And I'm talking all the way back to a little child. I used to read these books. You guys might know them. They were called Encyclopedia Brown. And that is where it started. That's where it started. These books were amazing books, guys. You know, just second, third grade books, fourth grade, fifth grade. And you always would read through, and there was a mystery that Encyclopedia Brown had to solve, and there had different endings and all that. And that's what got me started. And then, of course, I was infatuated with the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, all the way up through my life. And then, of course, we got involved in the all the crime shows that were out and about at those times. Thank you, Miss Brandy. That's pinned in the chat now for anybody. Just so on and so forth. I grew up when I was 12 years old. There was somebody that we grew up with in our neighborhood that we were close to, the family, who was horribly unalived. In such a bad way. I've told this story to some people, and the people that caught, that did it were caught, and one of them passed away in prison. The other one's been on death row for almost 40 years, folks. And that is something else that is what has wanted me to look at getting true justice for people, amongst other things, So it's been an ongoing passion of mine for my whole life, really. And always anything, anywhere there's a mystery, even the damn game Clue. I love it, folks. I do. I love mystery and suspense, crimes and solving them. And it's just always been a thing for me. always been a thing for me, guys. So that is where I come from and who I am. Thank you very much, Miss Brandy. Again, I appreciate that. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. Look at Mag, 100%. Just an update, guys. There's a case that we were covering not too long ago. Thank you, Don't Dive. I appreciate that so very much. I really do. More than you know. I'm going to give you this update, and then we're going to get moving with this, folks. I'm sure you guys have better things to do than hang out with me. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Unsolved Mysteries is another. That's what I was trying to think of, Eve. That was a huge Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. And here's the thing we're going to be doing. My brothers over at Publicly Buzzed gave me this idea. We do movie nights here occasionally, folks, in the Discord, which is another good reason to join the Discord, okay? But we also have in the Discord the ability to watch episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, which is a very cool thing based on some of the cases that I cover, have covered, and will cover are cold cases. And they are on there. Okay. There's one locally that I grew up around that I've been following for years that there's still no, it's cold, obviously. And so, yeah, these are other things that we do in the Discord, folks, together. And good golly, is that Miss Molly? Hello, darling. Welcome. Good to see you. Our resident kitty cat is in the house now. Yep. We were on the phone that night. That's right. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. 48 hours. Absolutely. All of that stuff. Even in sport, my wife and I used to, when the DVR box first came out with the cable companies, we used to watch the Law and Order, all of them, SBU, Criminal Intent, all of that stuff, right? We used to watch all of those. We'd DVR them all throughout the week we were working. We'd come home at the end of the week and we'd spend the entire weekend watching all of the episodes that we could find. So yeah, guys, it's there. Where is that? I'm trying to give you guys an update and I can't even find it. Where did it go, Heather? One moment. Everyone, my apologies. Sorry for the delay. Nope, that's not her. Where are you at, Molly? I swear I have it, folks. Good Lord. Molly, what case were we talking about earlier? It just slipped my mind. Remember I said, holy hell, when I saw it, and then I gave you said if you'd look at the Discord, you'd have seen it earlier. Jeez, what case was that, Molly? Yes. My TV's on the ID channel every day, too. If it's not on ID, it's on YouTube. End of story. That case that we worked, Molly, what was the name on there? Thank you. Folks, we covered the Madeline Kingsbury case here not too long ago, okay? In between some stuff we were doing with Idaho. Well, they were, for anybody following that case, sadly, there were remains found, and they do belong to Madeline. And luckily, the ex-boyfriend was charged, the father of her children. And that's where that sits at for right now. So thank the Lord that she's been found, sadly, unalive, but and somebody has been charged in it for anybody that may have been following it. So that is the update in the Madeline Kingsbury case, folks. It's very sad outcome. She's a wonderful person, beautiful soul. So, here we are again. Jen, the Discord thing is actually pretty neat. Okay. They found her off of Route 43. Absolutely, Carolyn. Thank you. It's just Geez, how can I explain this? It's just a place where we can all go together and hang out in there. You're always logged into it, and you can talk to any of us that are either me. Of course, I'm in there as well, and any of the other members that are in here. Anybody that's a meatball that's in green, we have nice, really interesting conversations in there throughout the day. There's always somebody in there. And you can reach me in there at any time throughout the day. Usually, I'm pretty good with keeping up with it most of the time. And then, like I said, part of that, it is kind of like Twitch a little bit. A little bit. I think it's better. There's no drama in there. Yes, they all pick on me in there all the time, which so much fun for all of them. And then I do get us together. Another perk I have for members only is we will get together, come up with a movie, and then we can go in there together and watch that movie, a whole movie one night. Or like I said, you guys get kind of early bird tips on the cases that we're running, info on the cases we're running. At some point, I'm going to probably be switching over when I do the music nights, when we do that, into there, and I can show videos with those and everything. And then what was I going to say? Also, we can do like the Unsolved Mysteries episodes to keep up with cases, stuff that we can't do on YouTube. Okay. So becoming a member gives you exclusive access to all that. Okay. So on and so forth. So, absolutely, Jed. And it's not everybody likes it, and you don't have to do it because you're a member. We just do love to have our members in there so that we can all kind of keep together, guys. It's a family. I consider this a family. You guys are family to me, and I'm very passionate about that. As you all, if you hang around, you guys will find that out. That's a fact. So should you choose to become a member, you have exclusive access to that and us, and we take very good care of that. It's moderated and managed very well. Of course, we don't take drama in there either. Nobody's attacked in there. We don't put up with any of that. Mind your business. I will not. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in tonight. And we try to keep it very maintained and calm, cool, and collective, just like the channel in there. So everybody that's a member is welcome 100%. And it's a good time. We do have a good time in there. We have different variations of channels. I'm going to be starting Stevie and Dan over at Publicly Buzzed showed me there's things we can play games in there together, folks. Like large amounts of us can play certain types of games and stuff. It's actually kind of a fun thing to do. If you're bored, you got nobody to go to talk to or anybody, there's always somebody in there that you can probably talk to. And you can get updates on cases and stuff like that, like I said. So it was hard, Brian. You're right. It was kind of me personally had a rough time figuring it out. And I'm learning as we go. And it's actually a really neat thing. It's got a lot of options and different things that you can do in there. So it's pretty cool. So it's just something to think about for any of you that are not members that would like to become a member, and any of you that are members that have not joined the Discord. It's available. Miss Brandy, the OG, she will, if you want to become a member, it's pinned in the chat. She'll hook you up very quickly. She's very good at it. So I'm getting there though, Brian. It's rough at first. Yes. Did I just see somebody jump in here? Mama Bear's sitting in there. It's good to have you here, Mama Bear. One of these nights we might be able to get you on panel with us again to do a night show. It'd be fun. So enough of my mouth. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me ramble. Let me get this show started. Bear with me, guys. Make this up real quick, and we'll be good to go. And there it is. I must have sold it to you. Welcome to the family, Miss Jen. Yay. We got a new meatball in the house, everybody. Jump on in the sauce with the rest of us. Jen, congrats and welcome. It's great to have you here. It would be awesome, Mama Bear. I agree. My Samsung doesn't take the app. It works on my slow phone. Okay. Well, we like having you in there too, Carolyn. So I hope that we can work that out. I tried to come up today, but no. Are you talking about Discord, Brian? Just get with Brandy. She can set it up, and she makes it very easy. I don't know how she does it, but she did it. I promise you. Well, probably because she's done it so many times now that she's very good at it. So, all right. Well, Jen, again, welcome to the family. It's great to have you here, darling. Thank you so much for joining us. Nope, no Stewie. That was in the background. Tori Hathaway says, if you're a meatball, I'm a meatball. We're all meatballs. And we're all floating around in the sauce. Forget about it. It's a fugazi. All right, all right, all right. Here we go, everyone. We can usually figure out the issues that people are having with the Discord. Sometimes it takes some time, but we will. If you really want to be in there, we'll make it happen, folks. I think I have the land crap figured out. Landline, I think you're saying. Okay. No worries. No worries at all. Mind your business. Thanks for being here, even listening. I appreciate you. Anybody that's out there just listening, not in chat, I appreciate it so very much. Last time I came up there, sounded like it was on heroin. I get it. I get it, Brian. No worries. All right, folks. So this is going to be kind of jumbled up a little bit. Just try to follow along the way we work with it. Again, guys, this story is based on a story related to Mr. Ted Bundy. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of that, and then we're going to jump into the rest of it. So one moment, guys. For those of you, I mean, most people do know who Ted Bundy is. Okay. And this is a clip from the movie that's part of it. Welcome, M. Cause. Good to see you. The person said, Brian, you did not. I mean, it was just hard to hear him, that's all. It didn't sound like you were on heroin, bro. Not at all. Brandy's the one that's got to help you get in there, bud. Hold on a minute, guys. All right, all right. Let me make sure we got this up and running right. Oh, I guess there are no. Okay, well, we'll get this up rolling this way.
All you have to do is go about your day. Don't act weird, and everyone thinks you're just a regular guy.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're discussing the untold story of Ted Bundy.
He's not the great, sly killer that people thought he was.
For this video, we're looking at the life and crimes of the notorious serial killer. Bundy was infamously charismatic. Do you think there are telltale signs of the monster beneath in interviews, or was he just too calculating? Let us know in the comments. Childhood. On November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont, Eleanor Louise Cowell gave birth to her son Theodore Robert Cowell at the Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers.
The son we raised was a wonderful, good person.
He was the perfect young man.
To avoid the scandal of having a child out of wedlock, the boy was raised by his maternal grandparents, believing they were his actual parents and that his birth mother was his older sister. He wouldn't learn the truth until
on the west side of the street.
Details of Bundy's troubled adolescence vary, as he gave conflicting accounts later in interviews that usually contradicted what others witnessed. First relationships. In 1965, Bundy graduated from Woodrow Wilson High School and briefly went to the University of Puget Sound before going to the University of Washington.
I mean, he was thought to be sort of a rising star in the Republican Party in Washington state.
People thought he was going to be, a young Ted Kennedy, but for the Republican Party.
Around that time, his girlfriend, Diane Edwards, broke up with him for immaturity and lack of ambition, according to biographer Anne Rule. Shortly after this, he learned that his sister was really his mother. He began dating single mother Elizabeth Klepfer, a relationship that would last 7 years.
Elizabeth Klepfer was a young mother, and she was
just getting over a terrible relationship. One night she meets a charming stranger in a bar. It's Ted Bundy. They start having an incredible relationship in her mind.
By the 1970s, he had returned to the University of Washington and graduated with a degree in psychology.
He graduated in June of '72 from the University of Washington with a degree in psychology.
Why does he get a degree in psychology? From my view, he does that because he wants to be able to continue to manipulate people.
During this time, he worked at a crisis center hotline and served on the Seattle Crime Prevention Advisory Committee. Unknown to Klepfer, he had begun to abuse her young daughter Molly. He also started seeing Edwards again, and the two became engaged before Bundy suddenly cut off all communication. Edwards would later express her belief that Bundy had planned this out as revenge. Many of his eventual victims, as well as Klepfer, shared similar physical traits to Edwards, such as long, straight hair parted in the middle. Bundy would dispute this, claiming that the only commonalities were youth and beauty. Washington murders. Bundy's first known victim was University of Washington student Karen Sparks, although he may have started killing years before. On January 4th, 1974, he brutally attacked Sparks in her apartment while she slept. She survived, but was left with permanent physical damage. From January to June, more female college students went missing in Washington and Oregon. Linda Ann Healy, Donna Gail Manson, Susan Elaine Rancourt, Roberta Kathleen Parks, Brenda Carroll Ball, and Georgia found the description eerily similar to her seemingly perfect boyfriend, and she reported him to police, as did a University of Washington professor and co-worker at the Department of Emergency Services. Detectives were inundated with other tips, however, and Bundy had no criminal record, so he flew under the radar.
Liz turned in Ted, and the police never did anything with it.
She called the police more than once, stating that she believed her boyfriend, Ted Bundy, was the killer.
Utah murders. In August 1974, Bundy was accepted into the University of Utah Law School in Salt Lake City.
When I was there at the law school, I would have regular contact with Ted Bundy, and everyone really liked him.
Women started to disappear in the area, including Nancy Wilcox, who went missing on October 2nd. Days later, University of Utah student Rhonda Stapley was assaulted after she accepted a ride from Bundy. When he was distracted, she was able to escape. Within a week, the daughter of a police chief, Melissa Ann Smith, also went missing. Authorities found her body 9 days later in Summit Park. That Halloween, Laura Ann Amy vanished, her body discovered in the mountains a month later. On November 8th, Bundy approached 18-year-old Carol DeRanche at the Fashion Place Mall in Murray, pretending to be a police officer, alerting her about an attempted break-in to her car.
What makes the Carol DeRanche abduction so pivotal is that she's the only one who ever got away from Bundy.
She went with him believing they were going to a police station. Instead, he pulled her over and attempted to handcuff her. She fought back, managed to get away, and reported the incident to the real police. Roughly 4 hours later, Bundy abducted and killed high school student Deborah Jean Kent.
The first one didn't work out. He's now frustrated, and so he goes to find a second victim.
Klepfer, who was still in a relationship with Bundy, contacted the authorities twice more with her suspicions, but witnesses failed to identify him from a photo lineup. From January to April 1975, 3 women went missing in Colorado: Karen Eileen Campbell, Julie Cunningham, and Denise Lynn Oliverson. In later interviews, Bundy confessed to also kidnapping Lynette Dawn Culver from her junior high school in Pocatello, Idaho, and drowning her at his hotel room in May, then disposing of her body in a nearby river. Arrests and escapes. By June 1975, Ted Bundy returned his criminal activities to Utah. On June 28th, Susan Curtis vanished from Brigham Young University's campus. On the night of August 16th, Bundy was driving through a quiet residential area, likely looking for his next victim. Seeing this, Utah Highway Patrol Officer Bob Hayward pulled him over and searched his vehicle, coming across a concerning set of items including a ski mask, rope, handcuffs, a crowbar, and an ice pick.
In his car, he had what we would call burglary tools: the ski mask, pantyhose with the eyes cut out. He had a pair of handcuffs.
Hayward arrested him, but there wasn't enough evidence to keep him in custody. Detectives interviewed Klepfer and found hairs from Campbell, Smith, and DeRanche in Bundy's car. On October 2nd, DeRanche identified him from a lineup as the officer she encountered.
Carol DeRanche came to the police station, was shown a lineup, and was able to identify Bundy as the person who attacked her.
And in February 1976, Bundy was tried for kidnapping her and sentenced to 1 to 15 years in Utah State Prison. In January 1977, Bundy was transferred to Aspen, Colorado to be tried for Campbell's murder.
Hairs in his Volkswagen Bug were of victims from Colorado and Utah.
And that gave them enough evidence to file on him in Colorado with a first-degree murder and kidnapping charge.
As a former law student, he insisted on representing himself in court and in turn was allowed library privileges. During a recess on June 7th, an unsupervised and unshackled Bundy leapt from the second-story window of Colorado's courthouse library.
The guard went outside for a smoke. The windows were open and the fresh air was blowing through and the sky was blue. And I said, I'm ready to go, and I walked to the window and jumped out.
6 days later, he was caught once again after being pulled over by cops. He actually stood a good chance of acquittal in trial, but instead plotted another escape. Thanks to visitors, including Carol Ann Boone, one of the many women he had dated while also in a relationship with Klepfer, he amassed $500 in cash. On the night of December 30th, Bundy escaped again after he squeezed his way through an opening in the ceiling of his jail cell, emerging in a jailer's apartment and changing out of his prison attire.
This is astounding stuff. And he gets out into the night and he's free again.
Florida murders and trials. In the very early hours of January 15th, 1978, Bundy entered Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house and viciously attacked 4 sleeping students: Margaret Bowman, Lisa Levy, Kathy Kleiner, and Karen Chandler. While Kleiner and Chandler survived, Bowman and Levy were killed. As sorority sister Nita Neary came home, Bundy left the house and went looking for another victim. He broke into the apartment of student Cheryl Thomas and attacked her, leaving her with permanent injuries.
These were totally innocent women that were, unjustly attacked, and 2 lives were taken.
In February, young Kimberly Diane Leach disappeared from Lake City Junior High School. She would be Bundy's last victim. On February 15th, Bundy was apprehended in Pensacola driving a stolen car with items belonging to the Florida State University students. He attacked the officer and tried to run, but was tackled to the ground. The trial for the Chi Omega attacks began in June 1979.
We knew we had a big story. We knew that it was a first in terms of a big national, international trial on television.
Though Bundy had multiple public defenders, he chose to represent himself again as co-counsel. Many young women attended the trial, identified by the press as Bundy's groupies. He allegedly received a considerable amount of fan mail. On July 24th, Bundy was sentenced to death for the murders of Bowman and Levy.
This court, independent of, but in agreement with, the advisory sentence rendered by the jury, does hereby impose the death penalty upon the defendant Theodore Robert Bundy.
In January 1980, he received another death sentence for Leach's murder. During the trial, he proposed to Boone, who accepted, and later gave birth to his daughter.
He married her on the stand at the trial of this girl.
He received a third death sentence in February 1980. Confession and execution. Throughout the 1980s, Bundy had a variety of interviews with media and law enforcement. He shared his opinions with the FBI on the Green River case. He also met with investigators from Oregon, Idaho, and Utah about some of his unidentified victims.
Bundy confessed to all 8 Seattle killings and 15 more in Oregon, Utah, and Colorado. He gave police information on dozens of other unsolved cases.
The night before his execution, Bundy confessed to FBI profiler Bill Hagmire that he murdered at least 30 young women and girls across 7 states, though experts close to the case believe the number is much higher. He was only tried and convicted for 3 of those murders. Ted Bundy died in the electric chair on the morning of January 24th, 1989. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. In the media, as one of the most prolific and talked about serial killers in the United States, Ted Bundy has been the subject of many books, films, documentaries, and TV specials.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to accompany me to the station.
In this? It's the dumbest looking cop car I've ever seen.
It's a civilian car, ma'am.
department budget only goes so far.
Former co-worker and friend Anne Rule released The Stranger Beside Me in 1980, while his former girlfriend Elizabeth Klepfer published her own a year later. In 2019, Netflix released 2 Bundy projects by Joe Berlinger, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile starring Zac Efron, and its companion docuseries, Conversations with a Killer, The Ted Bundy Tapes.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Stories of Bundy have been told from various perspectives, including survivors, investigators, attorneys, and people from his life. They paint a picture of a man who, on the outside, appeared normal and charming, but beneath the surface was anything but.
Ted Bundy is a unique story in American crime. It's not just one story, it's many stories.
All right, there's the first part, folks. Again, you know, it's always blown my mind. It's always been amazing to me. As a kid, you know, when I first started understanding about Bundy and Dahmer and all of these people, Bundy to me came off to be probably the most charismatic, probably the most charismatic serial killer I've ever seen in my life. To me, you know, when you watch him, his interviews, and you talk like how he talks and the way he acts and stuff, you know, it's almost sad. Like it almost seems like he could have been, if he wasn't a serial killer and wasn't a psychopath, a prominent part of society, folks. Actually, a good, decent part of society as a person, you know. And it's just weird to think that way about a serial killer. So, you know, I that's always bugged me because you shouldn't think that way about a serial killer. It's just not one of them things. But I've noticed there's a few like that, you know. I think Dahmer, again, had a bit of charm to him. Son of Sam, you know, they had a bit of charm to him. It's kind of crazy. Gary Ridgway, yes, you know. What was his name? Oh my God, the Gainesville Ripper. Okay, these people they've had a bit of charm to them, and these are people that walk amongst us before they were, of course, imprisoned and all that, and you'd have a conversation with any one of them. You know, it's well known that Bundy had a way to talk to women, and obvious, you know, things like that, and it's amazing to me that they have the sickness that they have, and they're still these type of people. Robert Lee Yates, right? No worries, mind your business. I think two things that made him that much more dangerous. Absolutely, I agree. 1,005%. And also, yes, he could have been something else way more productive. That's absolutely what I'm saying. Like, if he didn't have the issues that he had, he absolutely could have been probably an important piece of society. You know what I mean? Danny Rowling, yes, absolutely, Mojo, absolutely. Oh, okay, Carolyn, interesting. I didn't know that. Very interesting. So let's move into the actual basis of tonight. I was just giving everybody a little refresher on Mr. Ted Bundy, and now we will move into the Bill Hagmire part of this to get you guys moving along with this. One moment. All right. Was any of his Green River? You know, Brian, I really don't know. I'll be honest with you. I have no qualms with blaming certain crimes on him that he confessed to, because he's that person. You know what I mean? No qualms whatsoever. If he says he did it, I have no problem believing him. I'll just put it that way. Honest to God, I really have no problems believing him. So, again, you know, and he was so charismatic, folks, and had so much charm to him that this gentleman right here, okay, he considered him to be his best friend. He says it in the movie. He says it in real life. And Bill Hagmire says at some point in his career that he felt a friendship towards Bundy at some point. And he said he was uncomfortable with that thought, but he couldn't help himself. So, I mean, take it for what it was. You know what I mean? Absolutely, Green Eyes. He did. If that's what you meant, Brian, then yes, he did help with the Green River mindset. She's correct. They went to him about those unalivings and used his advice. So, I mean, what does that say to you? You know, it's just odd to think that way. Who would ever go and talk to a serial killer to get their advice on how to catch another one? It's just weird. Again, CC, thank you. Welcome, CC, the sweetest lady on the internet. It's great to see you. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight, my dear. That's right, Carolyn. It says Yates made friends with all his victims first. That is a fact. What better way to make him comfortable with you? You know what I mean? Very interesting. Sorry, folks, I got to fix this once again. And again, guys, if you have any issues with the audio of any sort, you know, any kind whatsoever, please let me know. Like BK could have been asked that 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Brian Koberger, with his educational background, could have been somebody that was like very prominent in society and the legal, you know, the legal field. As far as like forensics and criminology and stuff like that, you know, I mean, which is why it was so hard for me to feel like, why would you throw all of that education away to go do this? And that's still why I struggle with it until it's proven to me. So, all right, moving along. I'll talk all night, guys. If you let me do it, I'll do it.
Here's everything you need to know about him. Who is Bill Hagmire in the Ted Bundy tapes? Special Agent William Hagmire was part of the new FBI Behavior Analysis Unit in the 1980s. At the same time Ted Bundy was on death row. Ted Bundy was executed on January 24, 1989, by the electric chair at Florida State Penitentiary. Hagmire was one of the leading investigators of serialers at the time and interviewed Bundy to try to gain an insight into solved and unsolved murder cases and to understand who and why. The FBI agents would go into prisons and speak to convicted murderers, violent criminals and rapists to aid in their analysis. What are the Ted Bundy tapes? In the documentary, Hagmire explained how Bundy would keep newspaper clippings around his cell of cases Hagmire was working on and many others and would assist him in profiling the heirs. Hagmire said in a documentary, he was very good. I mean, he would say, I think that guy would do this. Then he'd do that. I think maybe you guys ought to do this or that. He talked about how a lot of serialers will return to their crime scenes. He also talked about leaving evidence behind that had nothing to do with the crime scene to throw them off. Hagmire also said in the documentary, he confirmed a lot of things that we suspected about serialers, but he also gave us a lot more things to think about. Hagmire has since gone on to become an expert in the cases of Richard the Night Stalker Ramirez and Gary Green River Killer Ridgway. He gave Bundy a questionnaire with.
That's kind of what I was talking about, Green Eyes. Like, can you imagine Ted Bundy as an FBI agent? I can. I think it would have been amazing as a criminal profiler, as you know, an agent in the FBI. If he wouldn't have been who he was, he probably would have been a huge asset. Huge asset, folks. But it didn't happen that way. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. Green Eyes, I really do. I gotta quit saying that all the time. 100%, 1000%, million%. I always say that. I need to quit doing it. Sorry. But yeah, I definitely believe that for sure.
Which Bundy added a lot of notations to, including dump sites and visitations to murder sites. It was Hagmire who uncovered Bundy would often return to the areas where he murdered his victims, for days on end. He spent over 200 hours with Bundy and during his final days, spent up to 20 hours a day speaking to Bundy in his cell. Speaking to the Buffalo News back in 1990, Hagmire said, during his last days, Ted Bundy called me his best friend. I don't know how I feel about that. Here you have a guy giving you a warm handshake, and you're thinking, this is the same hand that held a hacksaw while he cut off a young girl's head. Who are journalists Stephen McCord and Hugh Answorth? What did Ted Bundy tell Bill Hagmire?
And again, that's another thought that I've had. You know, how many people, even after he committed the crimes that he did he charm and you know, shake their hands and make them comfortable? And how often can you imagine yourself walking into a room with a serial killer, somebody that you knew took a hacksaw, like it says, and cutting off someone's head, or unaliving multiple people with his hands, and then you're shaking his hand? Can you imagine that? I'm just saying, like, it's a thought that I've had. You know, I think about these things a lot, folks, when I do my research and when I look at these things. I've taken notes on the things that I think about with these, you know. I think I would have been a good criminal profiler, to be honest with you, but that's me. His best friend or an admirer. Yeah, CC, it's crazy. It's a crazy thought, but it happens, folks. We all think these things in some senses. Brian, I love Dahmer's dad's book. Yeah, I grew, like, Dahmer was born and raised literally, like, not even 20 minutes from me, where I grew up. Okay. And we used to go by the house there and see things when, you know, after it all happened. It was just weird because it's right there. We could have been around him multiple times and you never realize it. But he's another one that had charm and charisma in some sense. You know, it's just crazy to think these things, folks. It really is. That's a good point. D. Smith says, I've always wondered if these people ever confide in each other if they are housed in prison together. See, that's the thing, is I would think that they definitely shouldn't put, like, more than one of these people together in the same prison. That could be scary, I would think. You know, I think that would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know about that, Carolyn. I appreciate the thought, though. I do. Holmes, the guy that did the Batman, was psychotic. Yes, Brian, 100%. That's a good point. A lot of people don't know that. That's crazy. Moving along.
Ted Bundy was given 3 different execution dates over 3 years that had been postponed as he tried to appeal his death sentence. On the days leading up to his original execution date, July 2, 1986, Bundy began confessing to his crimes to Special Agent William Hagmire of the FBI Behavior Analysis Unit.
Thank you,
He
Brandy.
confessed to an estimated 30 murders to Hagmire that took place across 7 states between 1974 and 1978. However, Hagmire believes there could have been many more. On the eve of his execution, Bundy reviewed his victim tally with Hagmire on a state-by-state basis, adding to a total of 30 homicides. California, 1 victim unidentified. Idaho, 2 victims, 1 unidentified. Washington, 11 victims, 3 unidentified. Utah, 8 victims, 3 unidentified. Florida, 3 victims. Oregon, 2 unidentified victims. Is Ted Bundy still alive? He detailed how he would return to the murder sites at Taylor Mountain, Issaquah and others and often engage in necrophilia. He also confessed that he decapitated the heads of 12 of his victims and kept some severed heads at his home before disposing of them. Stephen McCord, who interviewed Bundy on death row in 1980, exclusively told Express.co.uk he hoped to trade confessions for a delay of execution. Ted did not want to. He was to an extent successful and his execution was delayed until January 24, 1989. Less than 15 hours before his July 2, 1986 execution date, the 11th Circuit Court issued an indefinite stay and demanded the Chi Omega case be reviewed. His second death sentence, for the murder of a 12-year-old, was supposed to be carried out on November 18, 1986, which was postponed indecently the day before. Despite numerous appeals, in December 1988, the final execution date of January 24, 1989, was set. During the final months of his life, Bundy spoke to homicide detective Robert Keppel and other officials, confessing to the crimes he did commit and some fake ones. However, Hagmire was the man who last spoke to Bundy the evening before his execution and revealed Bundy was planning to take his own life. In the documentary, Hagmire reflects on the dark conversation and said, he did not want to give the state the satisfaction of watching him. The pair prayed for hours together the evening before his execution. Hagmire watched Bundy's execution the following morning while mass crowds gathered outside to celebrate. Bundy D in the Ford electric chair at 7:16 am local time, aged 42. Conversations with the Killer. The Ted Bundy tapes is streaming on Netflix now. This article contains affiliate links, which means we may receive a commission on any sales of products or services we write about. This article was written completely independently. See more details here.
All right,
Hi,
folks.
everyone.
All right. There goes that part of it. Thank you all. A little surprise for you guys after this, too. When we go to do the poll on what we're going to do. Give me a second here. Set this back up for you guys. A few more pieces to this, too. One moment.
First time.
All right. We have Mr. Hagmire. I hate when those electronic bot voices say these names. It's horrible. I hate using those, but sometimes I don't have many options. So, right. All right. Here we are, folks. This is Mr. Bill Hagmire, is an FBI profiler. This is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Here we go.
Ted Bundy, he was on death row already. During the first meeting, he said, why should I talk to you and not somebody else? And I said, because I'm here to learn. And he said, would you kill me? And this is the first time I met him. And I said, well, I wouldn't take a whole lot of satisfaction in it, but if it was my job, and you're asking me if I'd pull the switch, I said, I'd think of all those girls. And I said, yeah, I'd do it. He goes, okay, we can understand each other now. So the second or third time that I went there, we were talking and we were really getting into some good stuff, although he's not admitting anything. And he just said, you and all your buddy out there in law enforcement, he said, you know, the way I see you, you're like fishermen. You're standing in front of a pond and you're throwing your bait into the pond and you're trying to catch the fish. And he said, some fish are going to grab it, but you know what fish they are? They're the ones that are inexperienced or cocky or don't know what you're trying to do. And you're going to catch a whole lot of those fish. They're not hard to catch. So what do? You mount them, you put them on a wall, you hold a press conference and say, look what I've done. Talking about serial murderers, obviously. He said, but on the very deepest depths of that pond, he said, are the big fish. And you're not going to catch them. unless you know more about them. And the only way you know about them is to go down there under there and be with them. And he said, you can't do it, you'll drown. But I've been down there. I've been under there a long time. I think he really enjoyed talking to someone who was not judgmental. And I was judgmental. I mean, he had killed my wife or my daughter. I knew that. I mean, when I shake his hands, I know those hands killed people, and they'd kill mine if he had the chance. But you have to compartmentalize that, you know. Otherwise, you get nowhere.
We sat here with a tape recorder, just like you had, and I would say, and they would say, well, let's talk about, some of these crimes they suspected you of. I said, well, I can't really talk about them. Well, how do you want to do it? They said, well, let's figure out some way we can talk about it. And we sat here and negotiated. How are we going to do this? And it wasn't any deception involved at all. It was very deliberate. And they said, well, how about if we do it this way? Then I said, well, I'm going to continue to maintain my innocence, but we can do it like based upon what I've read, I would speculate that this would be what might have happened. Okay. Third person said the thing. Yeah, and it wasn't, I'm going to talk to the third person. It was, I'm going to speculate about what I've read and do the same thing the police would do. If they were trying to figure out what happened. Basic investigation. Right. And so that's basically what happened. They would say, okay, what do you think? What do you think happened at Lake Sammamish? I said, well, first of all, I don't know what happened. And then we go into this long, and they said, well, we don't like that because we read something and that doesn't really fit what the police know. I said, well, how if we do it? Okay, we'll do it this way. Okay. And I swear, if you actually sat down and listened to their tapes, you would hear a lot of this nonsense. Okay, and what I've got to tell you, I want you to be clear. That was not a nice thing to do. First of all,
What's up? Love you madly.
Money makes people do things which are sometimes not right, and I think part of the problem with that was the money. And you put your finger on it, making money, especially off of this kind of thing, is really wrong. And I could never do it again because it just, when you get in this kind of thing for profit, just too many bad things happen. And it should, because you shouldn't be doing it. And it was wrong for us to sit here and coldly do what we did because there are a lot of people out there who read this kind of stuff. And it just didn't work. And it felt bad all the way along. And I look back on it as a learning experience. But I would just rather not say anything anymore than engage in that kind of cruel kind of.
Yeah, Sherry, I was going to talk about that after this here because it was kind of interesting to me. If you're okay with that.
Well, we did correctly, I guess, anticipate the baser desires of people who oftentimes buy these books, who want to be titillated, or who want to have their prurient interests indulged. There are people who read these books for genuine reasons too, and unfortunately, I think more often than not they're misled if that's what they're looking for. Because whoever has read any of these books does not know anything about me or what really happened. And I don't say that with any sense of being smug or anything. That's just the way it is. Well, you're individual. How many people really know other people as well as you know yourself? Sure. There have been other people who have read books who pretend that they've known you prior to any alleged criminal involvement, and they feel But you really have. For that, to the extent that. I think you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, they had an opportunity to, and they certainly had genuine access. For example, there's access to. No, it's always cold. Okay. No, you don't have to worry about that. No. Access to me was really very superficial. She's in her own way, under certain conditions, a very nice person. I have no animosity toward her, but there's no question she grossly overplayed what was a passing acquaintance. And all we did was have our shifts at a colon crisis. Oh, I remember. No, I remember very clearly. But she had absolutely no basis to write a book the way I understand she did, or claim that, that in her own way she knew me. It would be like if you were to have a coworker and you would work beside them for a couple hours a day for 6 months, and then they would go away, and then they would write a book all about you. That's what happened with that person wouldn't know you any more than my former fiance, girlfriend, friend, and what have you. And she, of course, had a far, far better opportunity to get to know me. I mean, I would have to say. Did you read that book? No, I didn't. When you were comfortable with having sex with her? I didn't read it. Again, I just don't. Because, you see, even though, bless her heart, she had an opportunity to know me, we knew each other for several years. If anybody knew me during that period, it was, oh, yes. A lovely person that she is and was. We were only just real remote friends. We never lived together. We only saw each other a few times over many, many years. So saw me day in and day out and lived with me day in and day out for years. Just for information, usually is referred to quite frequently in the writings of your life as the person who you cared about. Things just didn't work out for one reason or the other. True, I don't know if this is in absence of you having an opportunity to read them. I've read parts of them. I've read parts of them, and I'm aware that they've made that characterization, and that they've also, there are a lot of psychological theories about Ted Bundy, which are just a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't bother me, but people who read them and believe them are going to be misled if they think, for example, that and I somehow broke up, and this was such a traumatic episode in my life that I just went off the deep end. Well, that's simply not true. That's simply totally, completely not true. And I don't care if anybody believes me or not. I mean, I know in my heart, I can tell you that, not that it's important necessarily in retrospect, but knew me. Now, whether or not when she sat down to write her memoirs, she put in.
For those of you that didn't know, these are the taped conversations between Bill Hagmire and Ted Bundy. I thought I said that, but I want to make sure that I said it. So you guys do know what we're watching. What's up, Heather? Good to see you, sis.
Yeah, the way it really was. Because, you see, by the time she wrote the book, the Ted Bundy she was confronted with, at least in the public consciousness, was something different. So I think a lot of people, former friends and even relatives, are a little bit leery. Did I really know him? And maybe their perceptions of me will change. You've seen this. Well, yeah, I saw that in him. I could tell when he was 5 years old, because people don't want to feel like they've been fooled. Or people don't want to feel like they know someone and yet they didn't know him. And so they'll figure out all sorts of things to say. Yeah, well, I could tell that he was capable of that because he didn't open the door for me one time. He didn't kick the cat. There's this one, I think somebody put it in the book. I heard this. I used to jump out from behind bushes. Okay. and scare. And I also used to walk on railroad tracks and see how long I could walk on the rails without falling off. I mean, come on, give me a break. jumping out from behind bushes was never my thing. When it came to, it was just a playful, childish thing that I did. As like when I was in the shower, I sometimes throw a cup of cold water. They get her out of the shower. So there's a lot of myth and misunderstanding about, I guess, everything, and it's good it sells, and unfortunately, though, I think it creates problems, misconceptions that I think go deeper. And maybe I think that I'm sure that there are people in law enforcement or psychologists who are trying to become more knowledgeable about this kind of thing, who read these and take them as fact. I think really the only approach to be taken is your approach.
I agree, Brian. Ramirez was just garbage, all the way around, just pure evil, in my opinion.
Without all the theories that are proposed in the media or in books. Of course, you haven't read our book yet. Well, it's got to be, can't be too much different. You're familiar with all the pictures of the left victim, the hair part. I've seen proposed that they are saying that represents. I'm sure, others have, did that person exist? We've, perceived that quite frequently, if someone is out targeting victims, there may be representative, and there's truth to that because we've seen it. A number of people apparently in a situation in which, we've been suspected, think that trend is there. Is that person actually, does that make sense to you at all? Was there a dominant person in your life that they are basically prescribing as having represented these victims? Well, let me approach that question. I'm not trying to ask you. No, I hear you. No, let me approach this question this way. To begin with. I mean, I've never seen lizard diet, so I don't know if they're saying that it's one of them or somebody. Again, that's pop psychology, I think. Yeah, sure. People are fishing around. They want a hook. They want a smoking gun. They want cause and effect, and it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. I think all you have to do is go back to the late 60s, early 70s, and if you could recreate somehow styles of the times, I wouldn't be surprised if you found out that young women between the ages of 16 and 26, 99 out of 100 had long hair with a particular hair color. Some 12-year-olds did it, yeah. That was the prevalent style of the time. So I don't think that is indicative of anything in particular. And talking about photographs, another one of the myths that I made is, I'm just appalled by the way, it doesn't bother me. I'm appalled at the difference between appalled and not bothered. Appalled that people are so, I guess maybe so desperate to find something that makes sense to them. But they always have, many of the articles in the books include a series of photographs of me, a half a dozen photographs, many faces of Ted Bundy, the great disguise artist. And they have all these photographs, and they're all different. They didn't prove it, all different, I agree. But they were taken over 10-year span of time. They have my graduation photograph in 65, they have my arrest photograph in 75. They're all taken at different. Even, look at you, either one of you, if you would grow a beard, innocently grow a beard, and over the course of just a couple months, photographs when you are in different dress and different moods, different times of day, different expressions, you're going to look very, very different. And you're not trying to look different. But this is the myth they created, that I was a master of disguise. In fact, this is one of, sometimes you kid around the bag, and one of the guys got to call me the master of disguise. That was my nickname. That's better for a book, I guess, right? But nobody's picked up on that one yet. I think that, because people believe that when somebody sneaks around or goes around doing this thing, they just assume that they disguise themselves. And really, in some way, what they don't understand is that you don't have to, no one
Thank you, Heather.
But I know that I could walk up to somebody under ordinary circumstances and they will remember me a day or 5 days, a month later. I mean, under ordinary circumstances. I also know that when I escaped in Aspen, I was seen, and I never left that area. I mean, I was escaped in Aspen, but I went up in the mountains, and I wasn't equipped mentally or physically.
All right, everyone. And sadly, there isn't really much anymore about that story, as I found. And we all know about Bundy. You know what I mean? I can tell his story 1,001 times. It's the same story that we've all heard. So that's the story behind the movie No Man of God. It was about the relationship and the interviews and the time spent that Bundy spent with Bill Hagmire. It was such a weird, as you saw in that comment, he said himself that one of the last things that Bundy said to Hagmire was that you're my best friend. And Hagmire said, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I, because on one hand, he feels comfortable with him. And on the other hand, he knows that he's a serial killer and he can't be friends with him. You know what I mean? It's the psychological aspect of it, folks, and it really will dig deep into your mind. It's pretty insane, if you ask me. So, that's the story. That's the glory of Mr. Theodore Bundy, folks, if you want to call it that. Now, we got a little surprise for y'all tonight. Something a little different. We're going to continue doing for next Monday. We're going to continue. I'm going to tell you a story. Thank you, Bonnie. So absolutely true. But I'm going to give you guys a choice on some. We're going to do something different, but you're still going to get your 2 choices. Okay. It's something I talked about before, but I want to do it Monday night. And whichever one we don't do, we can do the following night. There's a few of them that I want to cover. So this Monday, I'm going to put up a poll for it. I'm going to give you guys a choice. Always TSTYSM for your time. Thank you so. Oh, absolutely, D. Thank you for your time. So what we're going to do this week, folks, is I'm going to get a choice of me coming on and telling you the whole story, the true stories and all about Alcatraz State Penitentiary, its history and stories, or the West Virginia State Penitentiary are the 2 that we have to choose from tonight for Monday night. Okay. It's definitely still true crime based. So there's your choice. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have you guys vote on Alcatraz, which has a slew of some very interesting stories. So, and as does the West Virginia State Penitentiary. Now, we're going to do them both, okay? Here's the one key thing. I actually got to tour, spend the night in for a total of 11 hours, the West Virginia State Penitentiary, okay? But either way, I'm telling you that story down the road. Alcatraz, I personally love, 100%. So either way, we're going to do them both sooner or later, but it's up to you guys when, either Monday or Thursday. So you choose. But yes, I spent 11 hours overnight in the West Virginia State Penitentiary or Moundsville Prison, whatever you want to call it. And it was a very interesting situation. Kind of blending it together, Miss Heather, but yeah, it's a good question. We've done a lot of these. But I'm just throwing these into the mix because all the criminals that we look at and talk about and see the stories on go where? Usually to some form of prison, folks. So there's no reason why we should not add their homes into, their homes after the crimes they commit into what we're talking about. Dago does Alcatraz. I like it. Yes, I did, Miss Brandy. I was in Mansfield as well, which is another one we're going to cover at some point. Mansfield Reformatory, the old one, not the new one. I covered both of those actually, Mansfield and Moundsville. That was a great movie too, and very good movie, Carolyn. Gotta love Clint Eastwood, no matter which form he's in. I had to look later. I know nothing about Keys. Other have mentioned to me. Gotcha. So, like I said, it's a little twist on what we normally do, adding these in here. But I hope you guys are down for it, interested in hearing the stories about them. Yeah, they don't run you through the new one, Brandy. They don't do that. They definitely do the old one, though. For sure. Molly, we have a poster. Dago does out. Wow, you guys are a mess. They will make a poster. Don't think they won't, Brian. They absolutely will make a whole thing. Make sure you're voting on the poll, everyone. Please, please do. Please do. And that's what I'm going to tell you guys, okay? The stories that I'm telling you on these prisons, okay, are going to be in-depth stories. They're going to be about the history of the prisons, possible escapes, absolute escapes, deaths that occurred in the prisons, the criminals that were in the prisons, who they housed, okay, and just anything I can give you on them, backstories on the prisons that we cover, okay. And it's just an extra little added little segment on the Midnight series that we do with the true stories behind the movies, okay? So I hope you guys are interested and down for it. A little something different, right? And the reason why I'm doing these, I do these evening series twice a week is we are hands, feet, head, and toes into Idaho and all these other true crime stories that are going on right now in these cases, right? So the way I look at it is we need to take a break from talking about Brian Koberger and Idaho and Moscow and Washington and everything else, all these other cases that we cover. Okay, we just need to take a break from it. So if we do this 2 days a week to take a little breather from what we're covering, even if I do that earlier in the day, it's okay. It still gives us a little break and a little reset on our mind to be fresh for the next day. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why I do this. It gives us a little step aside, sit down, just a change of visual and gives your brain a reset, like I said. The ghost stories come right along with it, Green Eyes. Don't worry, because that is the whole reason why I spent the night in the Moundsville Reformatory. And that was some interesting stuff. I will tell you that. That's right. That's exactly it right there. Clear your heads. I mean, we're still talking about crime because it is what it is in some form or fashion, but it's not this, it's very welcome. It's very, very welcome. You are correct. My wife, my kids, everybody in my family, they are so tired of seeing and hearing everything Koberger in Idaho. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why we do these things. Absolutely. And there's some paranormal stuff that tucks in there too, which again, guys, for those of you that don't know, I am a state and nationally certified paranormal investigator. I took classes for it, everything. I have a license. And my wife and I both started a group years ago called the Trumbull Researchers of Apparitions in the Paranormal. And we do the whole paranormal aspect of these things as well. These are true facts, folks. A lot of people that have been here for a long time, they know about all this already. I was actually going to start I am gonna start another channel actually at some point when I have some time. So that's another passion of mine that I've had for a long time. Yes. And yes, Carolyn, I spent 11 hours overnight in the Moundsville Reformatory, my wife and I both, and the rest of my group. And it was, and I spent 6 hours, I believe, overnight in Mansfield Reformatory too. So. I have not, Carolyn. I wish I could say I have, but I have not. I already have it, Jen. I have not done anything with it. It's called The Paranormal Experience with Dago and Mama Bear per se. But yeah, I have it. It's up there already. I don't do anything with it. I haven't had a chance to yet. So I got you. When I get that other channel up and running, CL, I got plenty of plans for it. I do. I don't have time right now. You know, I'm trying. I named it and I started it. That's all. So yes it is, Vicky. Yes it is. Yeah, I started the channel. Yeah, I know there's a few people in here that Molly especially. Molly's a very important part of the other channel, as are quite a few other people in here. Some of my mods and so on and so forth that have other talents that they don't get to use in the true crime community per se as much. I accept cash. So do I, Brian. So do I. I think we all do. All right, so let's check the first poll. Just another one, 30 hats. Another 31 hats to wear. Amen to that one, Mikey. So on Alcatraz, we have 81% yes, 18% said nope. So, okay. I know where this is going already. I can just feel it. So, let's see here. My wife and I have spent. I didn't even get to see it, Brian. I'll go back and look real quick. And the second poll is up. Kids, make sure you're voting. What did you say, Mr. Brian? I accept cash. Blah, blah, blah. 5 hours later, the same message here. No Dago is here, but no plan to tidy up. It's all your fault. You said that to me the last time. That you spend too much time here. I'm sorry. I apologize for taking. I absolutely apologize for taking up your time. Brian, are you being a turkey tonight? A turkey? You better get him straightened out, Mama Bear. I think you're the only one that can control Brian. I'll be honest with you. Just kidding. Keeps happening. My apologies, my friend. I'm sorry. Should I be less interesting or entertaining in some sense? I guess if that's what it is, I can do that if you'd like to. I can sit here with resting bitch and stare at you and not talk. I could do that. I've done that. I've done that a lot in my life. I can do that if you'd like me to. I don't know if everybody else would appreciate it, but I can try. You know, No. Okay. Just checking. Miss Star, you leaving us already? All right, hon. Well, you have a great night, and thank you so very much for joining us tonight, dear. It's great to see you again, and hope to see you soon. Is that a hard no, Brian? But no. Just got brain tidy up a bit, but no, here I am. Well, and these things will give you a break from a lot of it, you know. Absolutely, Brian. We love you as well, brother. Thesis, you're the great. Just thank you so much, D. I appreciate it. I do want to tell you guys that it's kind of overwhelming in some senses. All of it, what you guys say in the chat here, the things you guys say in the comments and on my channel and the community pages and other channels I've seen comments too. Like, it's really overwhelming how, and I very, very much appreciate it. And I very much love it that you guys have such nice things to say to me and about me on such a regular basis. I really do feel good. And I appreciate that, guys, when you do that. It makes me feel like, you know, I'm kind of an important person, you know, not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying it makes me feel important. And I love that. I'm glad that I touched people. I'm not even going to say that. I almost did it again, Mama Bear. I'm glad that I can reach people that way and make them feel the way that they do. That's what I'm trying to say. So thank you for all the kind words and all the kind gestures and the things that you guys think, you know, about me. So thank you so very much again from the heart, folks. Yeah, you know what I almost said there, Mama Bear. I have a tendency to stick both my feet in my mouth sometimes, guys, and say things that I probably shouldn't say. They, you know, they don't have a bad meaning, but they come out sounding horrible. So, you know, what's that saying? You are what you hang with. Yes, absolutely. These people in here are, you guys are the absolute cream of the crop, folks. You guys are amazing. So, and I love you guys to death, each and every one of you guys. I agree, Carolyn. Everybody in here is very let me think of the right term. Just we all kind of just blend together the right way. You know what I'm saying? Right, Jen. I've said some things. I mean, it all turns out to be good humor. But, you know, when you talk fast and you don't think, it just comes out. And you're just like, as soon as I say these things, it's like, I just really did say that. Yes, I did. Here we go. You know, Mama Bear, it's, you know, when she's up here with me and I do it, it's usually good for her. She gets a really good laugh out of it, as do Molly and Mikey and everybody else. So that's another reason why you guys got to get into the Discord if you haven't, because you get to watch all the loving fun that gets made of me in Discord, because they have a blast with me, guys. I am the butt of all jokes in a lot of senses, but I love it because I know it's all in good fun. Yes, CL, that's a good way to put it. We all resonate here. Very, very good. The sauce melds us together. That's a fact. That is a fact. Why are you laughing, Molly? Because it's true. It is true. All right, guys, we are out to the same thing on that one. Let's see which one winded. Which one winded, as my granddaughter would say. That sounded sarcastic. Me, Molly, I'm not sarcastic ever. I don't even know how to be sarcastic, Molly. Not at all. Sorry to say. 82 to 17. What did I say the other one was, guys? Does anybody remember it all? I'm gonna watch it. I had a great time being here with all you. Happy birthday to Kaylee. I think you meant Kaylee, hon. That's okay. And yes, thank you for joining us, Green Eyes. I appreciate you so very much. Yeah, and I don't throw. Oh, listen. We don't tell lies in here, Molly. Okay, that's not good. We can't do that. Okay. Yeah, my kids did too back in the day before I knew what Discord was. So yeah, don't worry about it, Jen. You're not alone. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Well, shut up, Mike. Shut up. It's all good, Green Eyes. I knew what you meant, hon. And again, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you so very much. 81 on the other one. Okay, and that one was so it looks like Moundsville's the winner. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner, everyone. All right, all right. So, let me go show you guys something real quick here. That is your homework, folks. If you choose to accept it. Wear what, Mama Bear? What are you talking about, Mama Bear? Green eyes, what? I am lost. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Green eyes, crime time. Oh yeah, she did it. She made a typo. She hit one button when it was supposed to be the other one. That's all. Oh, she's saying hi to you, Green eyes. She didn't see you in a while, probably. That's what I thought, because you got pretty loud there. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys just a. It is the Moundsville Reformatory, West Virginia State Penitentiary. Brandy. All right. Here, I'll give you. This is your homework for tonight: is to look into it, and I'm going to tell you some stories about it. I'm going to give you guys a little teaser here. Okay, just a little teaser about what we gonna be doing, folks. Yes, Strike is in the house, everyone. For those of you who didn't see him, B Slims is here. I was out of chat listing cooking dinner, but I had to get in here and tell you. I had to get in here and tell you I love you too so very much, and I appreciate you so much. When I spend time in your lives, it makes my awesome. I am so happy to hear that, B. Thank you. And that's how I feel when I get to hang in here with you guys. I really do. Like I said, you guys are family to me. I talk about you guys to my family out here. All of you guys, you know, it means a lot to me that we get to spend this time together. So thank you, V. I feel the same way about you. I absolutely do. I'm going to cook some chicken. You do that, Carolyn. I don't sleep well, so this will give me something to read. There you go. There you go, Miss Jen. Real quick, here's a quick look at what we're going to be covering come Monday, guys. So one moment. Oh, shoot. I always forget to do this, guys. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again. Okay. Boom, boom, and boom. And there we go. And we're off. It was built as a prison, I do believe. I believe. It is very large, Bonnie, and I went. The 11 hours I was there, we covered the entire prison, guys. It was insane. In some senses, yes, Carolyn. In some senses, it was. Absolutely, Carolyn. No, V, this is the West Virginia State Penitentiary or Moundsville Reformatory, whatever you want to call it. Yes, B, absolutely. I agree. I get it, Carolyn. I absolutely do. Yes, sir, Mikey. This is the one, the gallows and all, and I stood there right where they did them. Like I said, guys, I scoured every inch of this in an 11-hour period. Every bit of it, top to bottom. By the time I left the next morning, it was insane, folks. I'll tell you right now. It really was. And I have a lot of stories, guys. I will be telling you about the life and death of this prison. It's a lot of its inmates, its history, the medical aspect to it. There was a medical facility involved in this. Certain prisoners that were here stories about these prisoners, interactions that my wife and I had with different scenarios in this prison when we spent the night. There's a lot to talk about with this. So we will be covering it all, folks. I'm going to give it all to you, the entire story, top to bottom, inside out. So I hope you're ready for it. Oh, big time, Carolyn, yes. I don't know about that one, Firefly. Alcatraz has its own form of... It's got its own... Alcatraz has its own personality. It really does. Don't get me wrong, Moundsville has its own personality. Mansfield has its own personality. They all have their own... They're their own entity in itself. And each one of them separately has its own amazing story to tell about it, you know? So we will be... I haven't seen Transporter in a long time. I don't know where he's been. Now you got me worried about him. So, yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Oh, okay, Firefly. So you've been there. Awesome. Good to hear. Well, you may be able to help me right along with that when we cover Alcatraz when we can vote that one in. Yeah, you would volunteer. Yeah, you would. I would love to, Molly. I really would. Thank you, Brian. I hope you do enjoy it. I know I enjoy bringing it to you guys. I really do. I greatly enjoy doing this and telling you guys these stories and spending these times with you and just all of it, folks. I do. I really do. It's a highlight of my day, my week, my month, my year. For sure. That's a good point, Vincent Cook. I appreciate that question. I mean, some of these places no longer can house inmates or people, for that matter, anymore. Yes, this place has good old Sparky, as they call it, the original. We are, Heather. We're talking about this one Monday night. Like I said, I'm giving you guys the full and complete story, the life and death of this prison. Its inmates, its stories, its history, there's a little bit of paranormal that goes along with this, folks. Again, my wife and I spent 11 hours in this place overnight, locked inside, folks. We're locked down inside the prison for 11 hours. It was definitely an experience, to say the very least. But I would do it again. So they locked us in. They locked the doors down. They locked. I mean, we had radios. We could get out if we wanted to. But we were locked in. Are you Miss Bonnie? There he is, folks. There it is. There's your homework. If you want to look into it, go for it. Other than that, I will show it to you Monday night. I will tell you the stories. Give you a break. Where did Bonnie go? I don't see her anywhere in here. Well, Miss Bonnie Bailey, have a great night. Enjoy your evening, and I hope to see you so very soon. I'll show you guys a tour through the prison, how that works. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the history, like I said, the life and death of the prison, the inmates that were in it, all of it, guys. So I hope you're looking forward to it. Absolutely. And there's more to come, mind your business. Like I said, we're going to, I wanted to cover a few of these places because, like I said, that's Brian. Now I got something else we're going to talk about here for the end of this, Brian. Something that caught my attention earlier today that I really want to talk about. Yeah, I've noticed there's been a few of them missing in chat lately. I mean, I'm sad to see that. I'm sure they're just no, I'm not going anywhere, Brian. We got a little bit of time left. Don't worry, bud. So, yeah, I've been a little upset about not seeing some people in here, but I'm hoping that it's just because they're busy. And, you know, they've got things going on in their lives, which is something that does happen. Don't worry, we're not leaving you yet, Brian. We'll keep you busy for a while longer, bud. So I don't know, those of you that saw this here recently, this is something that has happened just recently that I thought was pretty interesting. And I thought it would be a good thing to talk about as just a extra topic to keep us busy. So 1 second here.
One emergency. There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one beside it, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
I want to find some aliens. Boy, if those 9-foot beings come back in your backyard, you call the police. We'll come back here. Okay? Yeah. Things come back, don't call us, all right? I ain't dealing with that.
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now. And tonight, our David Sharns with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human.
Now, I know that the whole world is laughing at this, okay? And I've even said either these kids had some really good drugs, were completely bored, or this shit really happened. That's all I can say. And I don't believe in aliens, folks. I mean, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying I don't believe that there's other life out there somewhere. I've never seen anything like this happen. Okay, so I'm one of those people that I'm what they call a show me guy. Like, I need to see something to believe it, per se. You know, so that's my thought as of yet. Okay, so let's finish this up.
And 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 80s now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8 foot person beside it, and another one beside it, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
someone calls 911 reporting two large figures in their backyard.
I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone's on a shooting star, and these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, the one 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall in the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard?
They see like a big, they see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear? They're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way. And whatever crashed by the time the police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting. So like the Metro officer sees something, the neighbor sees something. I mean, so what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 80s Now Investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the
Here's the thing, folks. Nellis is known to have things like this happen around it. And they're not going to admit to it anyway. I'm going to show you something else that goes along, that kind of links to this in a sense, that happened. I think I was a senior in high school. And here's my issue. I have problems believing when people say they saw UFOs or when they saw aliens or whatever you want to call it, okay? I do. I have issues believing that, okay? Now, when you have law enforcement officials, military specialists or military personnel, firefighters, EMS workers, people like that coming up and saying, hey, some shit just went down, right? When we see that, that makes me kind of go to the like, oh, well, maybe they did, because why would a cop come out and lie? Well, here's some I'm going to show you. In the neighborhood that I grew up in my stomping grounds when I was a kid, this happened. And it was on Unsolved Mysteries, folks. Law enforcement is who saw it. Multiple law enforcement agencies saw this night, as well as people I worked with. I wasn't really a kid. I was just way younger. Multiple law enforcement agencies saw what I'm going to show you next, as well as people I worked with through 911 dispatch, okay? That I know personally. And it made me really go, what the hell, okay? Like I said, if the neighbors down the street say, hey, I saw a UFO, or I saw aliens, or you see some guy named, Steve or Dan on TV talking about, I saw UFOs, you're like, okay, whatever. For some reason, when I hear law enforcement talking about it, it makes me go, Yeah, I don't know about that, Mike, Brian. And good night, Mama Bear. We love you. I hope you get a good night's sleep. And I will talk to you tomorrow sometime. I know, Heather. I don't want to talk about your relatives like that. I'm just saying. Miss Heather is from another planet, by the way, folks. That's what she's been telling me since I met her. So anyway, let me find this and show this to you real quick, guys. It's rather interesting. Like I said, this one made Unsolved Mysteries with Mr. Robert Stack back in the day. Let me show you here. And they're saying that this was linked to another series of stuff that happened years after this.
Because I felt
Hold on a minute here. Let me find it. I had it saved in here. Where is it? There's two versions of it. I'll have to show you. Okay. We're going to watch this here real quick. Bob Lazar. I know who that is. I know that name. Mojo. All right. All right. Okay, so this is where I grew up, born and raised, Trumbull County, Ohio. Okay, this officer, I believe he became the chief of police in Liberty Township Police, which is literally a 6-minute car ride from the town I grew up in. This is in the same county. I knew him personally. When I started working in fire and EMS, I worked at MedStar Ambulance. I ended up working with him. so on and so forth. And when I realized that this had happened, I was just in awe. And it made me really think. One moment, please. Hold on a second here. What's going on, Miss Brandy? I'm lost. You wanted me to check into the Discord? Check Think Tank Discord. Yes, I'm looking. What's up? Are you talking about the Madeline Kingsbury thing? I announced that earlier when I came into the stream, that they had found her remains and arrested her ex-boyfriend as a suspect. Is that what you're talking about, Brandy? Check the link. Oh, I'm sorry. Which one? I'm looking. Hold on. One second, everybody. I'm looking. Okay, I'm checking it. I don't see anything in there specifically. Or did I miss something here? Hold on. I'm looking. Alrighty, we have a great night, hon. Brian Etten. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I will get right back to this. I promise. Oh, okay. Oh. From Brian Etten, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Representative James Comer tells News Nation he intends to have hearings on UFOs and is interested in this report and whistleblower David Grush's claims. More with Grush at 6 p.m. Oh, interesting. Other countries have wreckage. Wow. Okay. Thank you. I will be checking that out. Let me move this along, though, folks. Again, this happened in Trumbull County, Ohio, the township area city that I grew up in, folks. And I knew him and multiple other people in this video. So just so you know, the woman I heard on that radio, I know her too. I worked with her. She was a EMT at one point before she ended up working at the 911 center. That was on that live call there. Yes.
Liberty Township, Brookfield, and Howland all report pursuing.
That township right there, Howland, is where when I was a firefighter and when I worked in fire and EMS, I worked for Howland Township Fire Department. I lived right there, folks, in that circle there. Okay. So this is crazy to me. This is why I want you guys to see this after seeing what we watched. We have something in that area called the Youngstown Airport, and also the Vienna Air Force Base is right there, which is what they're talking about. Okay. Every person that was working at both facilities, they're side by side, the Youngstown Airport and the Vienna Air Force Base. Nobody saw anything on radar or in person up in the towers. At least they claimed they did not see anything. Okay. That was radioed in through 911, which is what you just heard. Right about here. And that was, and here's the thing, you guys. If you can listen to her, she even admitted to this after the fact to people that we've all talked to her and this and that and everything else, that she didn't believe this. She thought it was a joke. She thought that Toby was making a joke and that these other officers, until all these other departments from different counties and different cities and counties started calling in and stating, hey, what the hell is this? Do you see this? What's going on here? Multiple. And I mean, a very large areas spread out of different police departments were calling this in at the same time. Then she got nervous and realized maybe this is real. And at one point, I believe she actually got in her vehicle from 911, took an early lunch break, and drove to go see this because she couldn't believe it. The one thing about this that happened is that when that happened, his car shut down completely. His lights went off. The car was running. He gets out of the car. The car is running. Everything shuts down. Like it goes dead completely. And these lights are over above him, okay? Just like something you'd see in the damn movies. Nobody wanted to believe that, okay? There were people, like witnesses in the yards and stuff, okay? That did it happen?
In that case, I can too. But I'm already sad. There's more to the finish. I had to interrupt you with a reason why. Yes, I have something to show you. I left your father working in the library. He sent me to the lab section to fetch an ancient plan of the city. When I get back to his table, he's gone. With all his papers, except for that scrap that I found in his chair. Here is the library.
That doesn't look much like a library. Looks like a confetti shed.
Let me know when you guys can see me.
I see. How can they? The Roman numerals. It was on something here.
Okay, I'm back. So I'm guessing that probably because that was via the History Channel, that's not a... I can't show you all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the audio for it that you can hear. And I'll tell you, like I was explaining, the officer's car shut down. Damn it, because I wanted to show you the actual news report, folks. It was really happening. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back with you. This is doo-doo. Hold on a minute. Let's see if this works.
A hand on my leg, and I realized that I couldn't move.
And he come across this object on the ground, which was the shape of a flying saucer. So he jumped out of his pickup and went down there. And
the first thing he saw was this winged creature, 14-foot wingspan at least. It was huge.
For Trumbull County disturbance.
Here we go.
Just after midnight on December 14th, 1994, in Youngstown, Ohio, a dispatcher by the name of Royanne Rudolph was fielding 911 calls at the dispatch office for Liberty Township Police when she received a couple of strange calls. People were seeing something hovering in the sky over a field just off of Sampson Drive, just north of Youngstown, Ohio.
Did you get any reports or any object in the air about 15 minutes ago?
Yeah, somebody called in, but
Hang on a minute, guys. This I swear I filtered these things, and that one shouldn't have been a problem, but I guess it was. So this is, I guess we'll just do the audio, and then I'll give you some other input. Yes, this is absolutely for educational purposes. Shouldn't have been a problem, but it is what it is. All right, here we go.
I really don't know what that would be.
Very strange.
Okay.
Well, I come to like one of them fighter planes, you know, like plane coming out the back.
Okay. Was it just like moving at a slow rate of speed?
It wasn't slowly, it was fast, but it was coming down.
It was coming down?
Yeah.
Like straight down or at an angle?
Like an angle.
At an angle? Okay.
You know, it wasn't really freaking, you know, in the back.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. I'll tell you what, we'll check with the air base in Miami and see if they have any report of anything in the area.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. 996. I had a report by CC, actually 2 calls in of a vehicle in the sky under an object above Sampson Drive. If you notice any, and it has, I swear to God, 4 calls in on an unidentified object over Liberty. 4 calls. 4 calls on an unidentified flying object.
Now, this is 911 chatter, folks. This is even her personal talk over the radio, speaking to the supervisors, so on and so forth. Again, this is about as real as it gets, guys. This is what made me start to go, maybe there are things out there. You know what I mean? So, just so you know that.
Now take a look. All right, we'll check it out.
You want me to call the air base and see if there's anything in the area?
I'll take a look.
After the 4th or 5th call came through, she started to wonder if these people were serious or just the usual drunk dialers. In fact, she had a difficult time taking it seriously. Was there actually a UFO in her neck of the woods? She dispatched a cruiser to the Sampson Drive location and continued to field calls.
County dispatch.
It's Liberty Police.
Pardon me?
Am I calling the Liberty Police?
What you need, ma'am?
I wonder, did you have anyone call you about a strange plane or airplane or something in the air?
Yeah, they're checking it out.
Yeah, I just saw it on Sampson Road.
Where?
On Sampson Drive.
Okay.
I was coming down Sampson Drive. It was almost, it looked like it was.
And now you can hear the dispatchers' voices of, like, they're like, okay, whatever you say, lady, whatever. And then when Toby gets on the radio and says, and then there's multiple other law enforcement officers in different areas of the county and different city police departments reporting this, that's when they start believing this. It's kind of funny. Welcome back, Slim. Good to see you.
I don't know what it was. It was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down awfully low.
Are you the same lady that called Channel 33?
No.
Okay. All right.
You must have had other calls in on it, huh?
Yeah, not many, a couple.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
What did it look like, ma'am?
It was like almost like an iridescent color. It was like a bluish purple. You know, it was like a long streak. It almost was like it had fire coming out of its back.
Okay.
You know, maybe it was. I don't know what it could have been. If it was I know it wasn't an airplane.
Okay, ma'am. I'll let them know.
All right.
All right, ma'am.
Sir, I have another report at Sampson Drive, and also we've been advised by caller to the media. Media informed us it was a blue-green object hovering, no noise. It was in the area of Fifth Avenue Extension.
I'll go down. That Fifth Avenue Extension just came in.
This is just in now.
Sergeant Maloro arrived on Sampson Drive and saw the light in question. He radioed back that he was going to get a better look at it.
And then he got
See some lights over one block from me. I'm going to try to get over there. I got to go down the street here. It's a large object, whatever it is. I just got a glimpse of it. I can see, I'm on Sampson right now. I can see it heading by Fifth Avenue on the other side. I can see some lights off in that area.
Suddenly and without explanation, his patrol car completely shut off. Even the CB radio was dead, which caused a bit of panic at dispatch. At that moment, the object in the sky shined a blinding light down on his vehicle. Sergeant Malero emerged from his cruiser and watched the silent craft above him. After a short time, the unknown object moved away and his car came back to life. After collecting his thoughts, he phoned Rudolph to explain what he saw. He described it as an immense circular craft about the size of a football field, with an intense, bright light at the center. He had to shield his eyes with his hand to get a decent look at it. There were other colors visible as well. Sergeant Malero saw either blue or green. Other callers mentioned blue or purple. The bright light the officer witnessed may have been what terrified residents described as the tail flame of a jet. As eyewitness reports continued to flood the dispatch office, Rudolph called the FAA to find any plausible explanation.
Yes, sir. This is Ryan from Liberty Township Police Department in Yedson, Ohio. We have reported some flying object in our jurisdiction, in our area, above the Sampson Drive, Fifth Avenue Extension area. I could not give you any kind of traffic, direction that would help you know that area. Do you know of anything that should be in our airspace this time, close to the ground? This is not a prank phone call, I swear. You can call me back to verify.
Look at the radar scope, and I go 60-mile diameter of Youngstown, and there is nothing out there.
Oh, shit.
Not even anything up high.
We've got five accounts, 5 calls in on this.
Yeah.
Something's flying in our area, and it's low to the ground.
NASA was also contacted after the incident, but again, there was no explanation. Rudolph then contacted the officers at the scene and relayed what she had learned from the FAA.
We've contacted the FAA administration, and they've advised nothing on the radar scope in a 60-mile radius of Youngstown. They did advise they have no communication with any helicopters or any private-owned vehicles, air vehicles.
They're not aware of anything then, right?
Negative. He checked the radar and advised negative, nothing on radar within 60-mile radius of the Youngstown area. Again, he did verify they have no contact with any helicopter or private-owned vehicles that might be in the area. They're continually getting calls on this, so.
At that point, Sergeant Maloro decided to pursue the craft and to not let it get out of sight. He told Rudolph back at dispatch where it was headed, and it became more and more of a challenge to follow its route. Soon, officers from the nearby townships of Brookfield, Hubbard, and Hartford were calling in with sightings. Lieutenant James Baker of Brookfield Township Police grabbed a pair of binoculars and climbed a radio tower for a better look. He saw not one, but 3 crafts flashing red, blue, green, and yellow lights. Sergeant Maloro and several other officers from neighboring townships took chase. They followed the lights in the sky for several hours as it headed east toward the Pennsylvania border. Dispatcher Royanne Rudolph, not wanting to miss out, was picked up by an officer on his way to State Route 82 to head out in pursuit. Shortly after the band of officers crossed into Pennsylvania, the craft took off at an incredible speed and vanished out of sight. This is one of the most intriguing and well-documented cases of a UFO sighting in history. In total, approximately 14 police and sheriffs in Trumbull County saw the crafts that night. If you lived in the Trumbull County area in 1994 and believe that you may have witnessed these unidentified flying objects, please contact me and share your experience. Below, I have included a link to the actual 911 dispatch audio recording regarding these sightings. Guys, that's it for the show today. Tell me what your thoughts on this topic are, and like I said before, if you've experienced anything having to do with the Trumbull County disturbance in 1994, I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Leave your comments below. If you do have questions or stories, mythicradio@gmail.com is the best place to contact me, or you can do so over at mythicradio.com. Please click the follow and like buttons as well. That helps me out. From all of us at Mythic Radio, thanks for listening,
And there it is, everybody. Now, like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't show you the actual video of it. I guess it's not allowed. So my apologies, everyone. I'll find a way to show you guys. Maybe in Discord I can show you for sure. That will be no problem. What in the hell are you guys talking about in here? I'm here, folks. I was just letting you listen to that.
Turn that down.
So Brian, like, you're on a roll tonight, brother. You really are. Yeah, CL, I was thinking, it's funny because we do have and have had an Air Force base out here, okay? And we have Dayton, okay? You're being terrorized by Discord, huh, Brian? Good Lord. But we have Dayton and just a few of these bases. And to me, it made me think that they were doing some kind of testing out there. You know what I mean? But too many people saw these things happening. So I don't know. It was just something interesting to me that went along with that whole thing in Vegas. So I thought you guys might be interested. That's all. Wright Patterson. Thank you, Mojo. Yeah, Wright Patterson there's a lot of things that have been talked about at Wright Patterson. From what I understood, everything that went on in Area 51, not Area 51, Roswell. Everything that happened at Roswell supposedly was transported to Wright Patterson here in Dayton. Okay. Miss Brandy, the OG, that's up where she's from, is from that area. So Brian is okay. Brian, it's gonna be okay, bro. Yeah, right. That's exactly it, CL, in my opinion. But it was scary, folks. It was definitely a scary situation to have that happen right over top of us, basically. Like I said, I was that area there is where I ended up working for the fire service and all that, and that's the area I kind of lived in too. So just saying, it was something interesting, and there's more situations that were recorded. Ohio was a hotbed for some point in time for these things, Cleveland and all that too. So send it here. Send it to my email, Tiffany. I'd love to see it. Seriously. Seriously. Let me see something here. What is going on over here? I don't see Brian. He's not in there yet. So, still working on it, huh? No minimizing allowed. What are you talking about? Yes. Yeah, that's what he needs to get in there, Brandy. All right, folks. It is fairly late, and it is time for me to bid you adieu. From here, I will be in the Discord on and off all night. So again, everyone, your homework for Monday night's show is on subject. Thing is, no others can believe someone's seen something until they actually experience it. Yeah, that's exactly Dee. That's the person I am. Okay, that's the person I am. And sadly, it is what it is. So, thank you for that, though. Are you serious? It's not that hard, CL. Brian is just struggling. That's all. It's really not that hard. Ask anybody else that's in here. It was like a boom, boom. You're there. It was pretty easy for everybody. I think Brian's just struggling with it. That's all. I mean, I'll hang out here for a minute or so while we try to get him in there, but I do need to jump down and go spend some time with my... No, Brian, you're blurry. You're just seeing me blurry. I'm not blurry. Actually, I was blurry because my camera's doing its own thing again. Awesome, Mojo. As I fade into the darkness, and I'm back. Thank you guys, though, for joining me tonight. I do appreciate you guys. It was a fun stream. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And again, tomorrow is Friday. We will be back tomorrow between 12 and 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to look at documents, again, the new ones. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a few other things. We are going to do what we do. So I hope to see you all there with me tomorrow, 12 p.m. Again, welcome to all of the new members and meatballs in the house. Everybody new that's jumping in Discord, welcome to you as well. Thank you all so very much for supporting the channel, supporting all of us. Yes, Miss Molly is uploading some new content to her channel, guys. Come check it out at the link right there to our own lovely Miss Molly Drake's channel. It's pretty cool, folks. If you're bored, go look at it. It's really neat stuff. Molly's always doing something over there. And again, all you moderators are absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much for what you do. Anybody that donated to support the channel to keep it going, it is so very awesome of you for doing that, and I appreciate that. And I mean that from the heart, folks, because it keeps me coming to you on a daily basis, because this channel is 100% funded from all of you. So thank you so very much for that. I thank you also for the super chats and super stickers, folks. Thank you, Miss Heather. Again, if you guys want to join Movie Nights on Discord, become a channel member just for under $3. It's very cheap, folks. It's pretty fun. We do have a blast in there. There they are, guys. There's the links for anybody that does want to, before I leave, support the channel by donating to Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Again, that pays the bills for the internet, the StreamYard, and everything else we use. So if you should choose to donate, there you go. That does come to me immediately. There's no percentage taken out from YouTube, and it goes directly back into this. The mods will tell you. Don't forget to talk Mama Bear IDM during my... Oh, I absolutely will, Miss Brandy, darling. Thank you for everything you do. Heather, you as well. Thank you for everything you do. Miss Molly, we love you. Thank you for everything you do. Mama Bear is probably snoring, but thank you, Mama Bear. Mikey, Cece, all of you moderators are so wonderful. Brandy, I absolutely love you guys to death. It was pretty much me. It really was. So I love you guys to death. Have a great rest of your night. I will see some of you in Discord. And others, I will see tomorrow. Brian, you have a wonderful night, my brother. You were such a good time tonight, as always. And I'll see you guys so very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.